Hey guys, I'm David DeMuzio.
And I'm Steve Cook.
Welcome to Hair Loss Hope. And today we have a question from Ziad. What are your thoughts on graft hair removal on the hairline to repair a wrongly shaped hairline? Will a person still be able to tan, or will there be a noticeable skin contrast? So what are some of the complications, Steve, that can happen with hair graft removal on hairlines? And what would you tell people that they need to be aware of?
So I'd first tell them to go see, a really good doctor, a specialist, a top surgeon, and determine if grafts really need to be removed. A lot of times what happens, as long as they're high enough, that's why you don't want to get overly aggressive with lowering hairlines too much. You can kind of work around a poorly done graft, meaning like it could have a bad angle and direction. If a graft is not angled properly, it will jump out. It may not be a bad graft, it just looks really bad because it's going in some weird or odd direction. The first choice would be to put a lot of tiny little, single-haired follicular units around that and just kind of camouflage it. And that usually works all the time. Now, if you're talking about, unfortunately, having gone to a clinic or a doctor that, quite frankly, didn't know what he was doing, or maybe this was done in like 1979 or whatnot, or whatever the case may be, and you literally need to remove grafts, you have to be very careful. Don't let anyone tell you that there are going to be no scars. It's a possibility that there could be some demarcations in the area where they take the graft out. They need to use a very tiny FUE instrument. Most of the clinics now that do FUE obviously have tiny FUE instruments. And based on your skin type, you may or may not be able to see any scarring. So, for instance, is the things that I always kind of smile about and talk about myself is that I've been very lucky in regards to, once I lost my hair and started doing hair transplants, that I heal very well. It takes me time to heal, but I heal very well. So the scarring in the back of my head is very difficult to see even when I shave my head.
Wow.
So I would guess that if I needed to remove grafts in the front hairline, there would not be much scarring. That doesn't mean when I'm talking to, let's say, an African American, let's say I'm talking to an Indian Asian or a Pacific Rim Asian that has jet black hair and white skin, that they would heal the exact same way. So there's a lot that goes into the thought about it. And if it's more than just one or maybe a few, it's something to really think about going through different options, because there are no guarantees in how you're going to heal.
You mentioned the hairline, and I think one of the easiest ways to fix that hopefully isn't an issue for you, is just to go lower in the hairline. Unfortunately, I feel like there's this combination of two things within the attitude of patients, and one is wanting the hairline to be as low as possible, and then the second thing is doing tons of grafts in one surgery. And so the combination of those two things, if not done really, really well, is becomes kind of unfixable, right? Very, very difficult to fix.
Yeah, I mean, these are great examples of why, we all are hair junkies. I mean, watching these videos, and David and I, of course, are part of the team. We're all hair junkies. We want the thickest hair, the best hair, the densest hair, the most hair, the lowest hairline. We want it all. And you can find doctors out there, and, I always give everybody the opportunity to get the benefit of the doubt. That guys that just want to help you, guys that want to be your superhero, that want to be Superman when it comes to hair restoration. And if you fall into the hands of a doctor that's either inexperienced and he's kind of using you as a guinea pig, or if you're just going to a doctor that just wants to try to help you and he, quite frankly, doesn't know what he's doing, then you could really get messed up. So that's why when you have these consultations with these doctors that are board certified, part of becoming board certified is exactly that. It's, 4 fingers on the hairline above the brow and then right on top. It's not 3 fingers. No matter what the patient says, yeah, doc, I'll sign anything. I'll do whatever you want to do. I want a flat hairline. I want all these things that you think you want. You can't reverse that. Mm-hmm. And when it comes to removing grafts, then that's where this gets really dicey. So, I think we got away from the topic. The question was, how can we remove grafts? And I guess this patient has a need for that. Just very carefully. Make sure you get a few opinions. Check the rest of your body of any kind of scarring you've ever had or any kind of surgeries and how you heal. And plan for the worst, hope for the best. As far as tanning and stuff like that goes, I think tanning, although I'm not a tanner. Tanning kind of helps, a little bit of color on the face or the hairline or whatnot will kind of break it up a little bit. I think that's something that you wouldn't have to worry about. And we're not talking about horrific scarring. We're just talking about now you've got issues in your hairline that you didn't have before. You got rid of the hair, but now you got new issues. So you don't want to swap out one problem for another.